me wondering. Thought that I had figured it out. Nothing could get through to me, but this kind of chemistry has me wondering. When you're not around it, all goes black and white. How come I'm not seeing in color? Lost without you, I can't make it through the night. How come I'm not seeing in color?
Welcome back, everybody, to NECC League of Legends Thursdays. We're here in Week 5, and we've got a matchup that may look familiar to some. It's the University Health and Science and Pharmacy St. Louis Eutechnics versus Weaver State University Violet. But I added Violet on the end there, Elk Battery. Why is that?
We may be down in Division 8 tonight. This will be a very fun time. We got word from our producer, Rare Adam, that this is the first time we've had Division 8 show up on the NECC stream, so congratulations to them for making their debut here tonight. And today is going to be some games of League of Legends if you've been watching NECC for a while. The average rank of the teams, technically, if you were looking at it from a numerical value, is probably around silver, but 6 out of the 10 players in our lobby tonight are bronze. So
Yep.
we're going to be having fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. And, we looked at their OPGGs, and there are some wild champions on here. I'm so excited. Let's take a look at these rosters because this is going to be something else. Over for the UTech, it's Squelvis in the top lane, Dry Knight in the jungle, Iron Blade in the mid lane, Bob Cheebles and Romeo in the bottom lane. For Weaver, it's Gamer Haze in the top side, Monkey in the jungle, the Taxman in the mid lane, and watch out, and I'm bored EXP down in that bot lane. And I think one of the players to watch out for has to be Romeo by simple virtue of he is the highest ranked player in this lobby. He is platinum.
Too bad he's playing support. Very low impact role, as we know historically.
True.
And especially in these games, the level of support difference can kind of be mitigated by some of your lanes not going maybe as to expectation. So I have a feeling, Yanni, I'm going to put a lot of things up on the board of like things that I want to see, things that I expect from certain champions interactions, and then we're going to go into game, and we're probably going to have to do a running tally as to how many times I am proven wrong by the gameplay here tonight.
Okay, I'm totally down for that, and hopefully we'll get a lot of surprises from these squads. As you mentioned earlier, their stream debut. Usually when that happens and you're getting streamed, you bring a little bit extra to the game. It does give players a little bit of extra juice sometimes, and I'm really excited for that, as well as all of the champions that I continue to look at each player playing. I want to give a big shout out to Iron Blade over on the Utectics because he lived up to his namesake last season. He was an Iron, and he climbed from Iron to Gold from last year to this year. I think it's really impressive. He's played a lot of games. He's got a solid win rate, playing champions like Neferi, Annie's especially, which has been good this year. So big shout out to Iron Blade for really leveling himself up in League of Legends over the past, year now?
I think that is impressive, so I'm glad we got to have a shout out for them. Also, we are playing on a new patch for anybody at home. 2 days ago was 25.21, so a few changes. I don't think it's necessarily going to impact this game, just due to the virtue of having such a average low rank, their ability to abuse really exploitative strategies in the game and really take a hold of new patch changes. Not going to be to the same level of the high masters that we kind of see in some of the usual streams, but there was a change to a lot of sustain due to early Doran's items. So Doran's shield got nerfed. Doran's ring is a little bit more skewed towards mana regen if you're hitting opponents. Think of D-Ring honestly as like a Walmart Ocean Drake, kind of, because you have to deal damage to get more mana regen, which is kind of what you get when you have Ocean Soul. You have to deal damage to get back your resources. And D-Blade now is flat Omnivamp, no longer just on attacks.
That's a really good point about Doran's Ring that I didn't really think about, like equating it to be like, oh, this is just essentially a mini ocean dragon, ocean soul, what have you. And it does seem nice because it is going to, at least at the higher levels of play, kind of like warrant action. Whereas at those levels of play, sometimes players will just elect to be like, hey, we're farming, we're having a good time, and we'll wait for fights later. So I'm excited for that. I think that in this particular match, I mean, they were going to fight anyway, let's be honest. So that'll be nice to see that regen. We'll see if it's actually going to make a difference, a noticeable difference from just eyes from up here. A couple champions that some of these players play did have some changes made or some buffs, so who knows? We could see some of those champions. I know Yone is a pick that's been seen out of both of these sides. But Dr. Mundo and Gwen as well, they got some adjustments. I know Gwen's adjustments, as you said, are higher level adjustments. So we'll see if...
I do think Gwen is probably the most, flatly just buffed champions on the patch. She just got most of her numbers back after getting gutted halfway through the year. So I'm hopeful that we see some more Gwen. I do think this champion, maybe from a pro level, isn't as fun to watch, but I always really enjoy really mechanical Gwens, because I think there's a lot to do when you're an auto-based champion with very short range. But kind of not even just looking at the patch, but we look at just these two teams in the bracket. 8 teams here down in Division 8 West A, and these are two of the worst performing teams in the league right now. I mean, they're both 1-3, but I cannot verify the veracity of the wins that they have received. Going on to the NECC website, they have a 0-1 versus the ECU Tiger Brawls, which I don't know how that's possible when you play best of threes. And they have a 0-1 versus the Tech Esports team. In general, both of these squads have played against the first place team right now, which is the Bison Whites. But their average seeding right now, they've played against basically around the top 3 for the most part. For the Eutectics, they've played first, second, sixth, and fourth. And for Weber State Violet, fourth, first, third, and fifth. So seeding-wise, they've been playing against fairly the same team. They've both played against the Bisons. They've both played against ECU. But for I guess watching these two teams, and especially as we get towards the end of the regular season, it's about how many more wins can we actually grab? How many more series wins can we get at 1-3 before our season is essentially done with?
Hey, if they went 0-1, 0-1, doesn't that technically make them 1-2? Instead of 1-3, because you gotta have 2 games for the best of 3, right?
I don't know how it works. I was told that there's an FF, but there's also a function that literally just tells you if it was an FF. It'll just say FF on the actual thing. So this is another plea from us here. This is our 5th stream for League of Legends Division. Please fix the NECC website. I'm begging you, please.
I'm gonna blame Adam behind the scenes. Come on, Adam, fix the website.
There you go. Well, look,
if
Adam can fix the website, then guess what? Casters can start the draft, as we have Weber State onto the blue side. Bans, I don't even know what's going to happen this game, because not only are we casting 6 out of 10 bronze players, but for everybody at home, Division 8 has no fearless draft. So for the first time for myself and Yanni in a long time, we're going to be looking at non-fearless best of series.
Dude, it's so weird to go back to that, to be honest with you. It's just classic League of Legends, but like the new way of doing things is better in my opinion, but I don't know. It's all right. Well, it doesn't matter at this point, right? Weber 0-4 so far in terms of game score. Their one win was an FF. So,
yeah,
they have an opportunity here to go out and get their first game win. Doesn't necessarily need to be a match win, although that would be great. That's what I want to see. Now, how they're going to get to that win remains to be seen. We've gotten 3 bans from Weber aimed at the Eutectic. It's Leona, it's Victor, and it's Caitlyn. And I think that... Okay, that's just a Caitlyn 80 carry. Because one of these guys, the Taxman plays Caitlyn mid. But he's over on Weber.
A self-ban then. They just want to make sure that everyone's chill. A lot of really heavy tank focus here, and Weber State are going to start off our draft with an Aurora. So a decent flex between solo lanes, a strong enough laner, and especially at this level of play, I do think it is really important to give players and individuals a lot of champions that have just blanket very easy early games, because late game is going to be kind of an issue, but the biggest problem for players at this rank is that they don't usually know how to lane particularly well. So great champion at range, and has a very, I think, straightforward team fight model.
Yeah, and not only that, if you don't really want to interact in lane, after a while you don't have to. You start clearing waves pretty easily. Her Q does a fair amount of damage. So we're going to see the Xayah come in for Weber after a Nico and an Mbessa pick. Curious to see what Weber's going to put in the jungle. Looking at Monkey's champion pool, the Nunu and the Nocturne are not available. Briar Amumu, oh my goodness, hold on. We got to hold the phones. We have an Irelia locked in here for Gamer Haze. This guy's been playing Irelia top with Barrier in solo queue.
I mean, it's pretty strong. Aurelia's been getting a couple of buffs over the patches. And against the Mbessa can be something that actually finds a little bit of success there. I don't think that UHSP really have the answers towards an Aurelia right now. The crowd control isn't all there. The ability to actually take this champion down also isn't present. So for the side of Weber State, I think that they've given themselves a ton of agency in this draft. We talked about how strong Aurora was. Aurelia is going to have a good lane and can be very dangerous in team fights when we talk about these two teams. And then Xayah basically can just peel herself, which is going to be very important against a Nico and an Mbessa.
Yeah, I think if we're thinking of lockdown options for Weber, out of the champion list that these players have, I think it's Amumu out of Monkey, and I'm Board EXP plays a lot of the enchanter-based supports or even magic damage slanted ones like Lux, and obviously Nico is picked on the other side, but we're seeing like Seraphine, Nami. I mean, you're going to have to be really, really reliant on those skill shots, and against the champion with a million dashes, I'm really hoping that they just decide to bite the bullet and pick like a Nautilus or something.
Nautilus would be fine. Leona's also kind of interesting. I think...
Well, Leona's off the table, so I think it might have to be
Yeah,
Nautilus.
true. Alistar's also fine. I think it's a little bit weaker in lane. Oh, it's already starting game one.
We're getting spicy, man. It wasn't already starting with the Aurelia top with barrier. We hadn't already started then.
Okay, look, the Aurelia was like, okay, you know,
That's
like
right.
I'm willing to bite, and then the Rammus tech. We're doing it now.
Listen, this Ambessa, this Jinx, they're gonna have a bad time if Monkey's able to get there. The problem is Monkey going to be able to get there? The Hui fear can cause a lot of problems.
Ooh, I don't like this fight. I don't think you ever want to be trying to play dive into this team from Weber State. I think the Utectics are going to have a really tough time finding ways to be able to play. They're basically entirely based around this dive composition from the top jungle and support, and then you have these long-range pieces of Hui and Jinx to try and get resets, try to take over fights, but I think there's a little too much agency. The thing that I will kind of note away from Weber State University is that their composition is a little bit shorter ranged and also doesn't have clear ways of being able to start fights outside of this Rammus. So how and where they're able to find themselves in the game, if they can actually get a fight going, I think it is much easier for the Utectics and a lot simpler of a strategy for them to execute on.
Yep, Weaver's going to have to be really reactive. We'll see if they're up to the task, Hawk Battery, as we are into game. The first game of our best of 3 series tonight. We were on the blue side, the Utectics on the red side. And we shouted out Romeo earlier for maybe being the player to watch. And as you mentioned, playing in that support role does mean that at times you will struggle to make your mark. But with the Nico here and over on the other side, the Seraphine for I'm Board EXP, I think both of these supports are going to have their fingerprints all over this game.
Oh, yeah. Now that I'm taking a look at it, I think that Seraphine is going to be quite unfun this game. I don't think she interacts well with the dive. Also, she's just been getting super nerfed over the patches now. They've moved a lot of power out of her W, so now I don't really understand what the identity of this champion is supposed to be. We are seeing that Romeo is taking a fair amount of damage here, but don't think it's going to turn into too much when we talk about having a Xayah Seraphine. So I don't know. I'm on the fence about I'm bored here in this game.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be hard, but I also think that we've got an impactful ultimate like that Encore. You're going to land some of them or you're going to miss some of them, right? And that's really going to be a large determining factor on whether or not we were successful in these fights, unless they come out to, a massive lead where it won't matter. And we're not exactly expecting that. So I think that if you land a big Encore, that could be definitely game warping.
So junglers are starting on top side here, both of them pathing down towards the bottom lane. Honestly, I would say that this could be a game where we could have seen our top laners kind of be the focus of this game number 1. This is a very volatile matchup, especially for Mbessa, who's been getting nerfed throughout the year. So going up against a champion that is so very strong in 1v1s as the Aurelia, I think making this lane very volatile basically could have broken the game, but it seems like a lot of focus on the bottom side, and I think it is on UHSP to get the ball rolling early. They do have a Jinx, but I don't think there's very many kind of avenues for them to be able to play this game later on.
We're going to see a double Rook go down, and here comes some damage. I'm Bored did get ignited. Trades back onto Romeo. Well enough there, so it'll be a heal and an ignite burnt away on opposite sides.
They have so much vision prepped on the bottom side. You can see it in the river there. They have one in the middle of the river. They also have this ward now on the Raptor, so they know that Vi is going to be on the bottom side here. Really good information being gained here by Weber State. Leaves them in a advantageous position because they know that Vi can't really do anything with this bot wave. The Seraphine and Zaya are permanently shoving. We'll see if Romeo can find a little bit more damage, but they are just... They don't even want to bother hitting the turret. They're just... We're sitting in fog of war and waiting for our jungler.
Yep, and you know what? Everything is all right there for the U-Tactics. I think that if you don't get disrupted too hard and your Jinx is able to farm up and just have a good time and not be under any threat, things are all right. You're generally pretty happy with the outcome there. One thing that I really want to talk about more is we've talked about pretty much everybody except for these mid laners here. Hold on, Gamer Haze took a turret shot.
Oh my god.
And Squelvis did not pursue.
Alright, so what were you going to say about mid lane?
I was going to say that I think these mid-jungle duos are just very mismatched here, and I think that if we're going to see any impact out of the both of them early on, it's going to be through this Rammus and this Aurora, because I just don't see how Vi Hui is going to work early on.
Vi Hui is interesting. It's, I think, a matchup that is entirely hinging on mid lane performance. So how Iron Blade is able to find which spells, which ones that they decide to use. I think Fear is super impactful versus a thing like Rammus, because Rammus basically can almost never engage upon you if he doesn't have ult. And Vi can make it easy by just having the setup. And they're going to go for a potential dive here.
All right, Dried Knight is getting ready. Oh, Flash Q! First blood picked up by Dried Knight.
No flash coming in from Gamer Haze. He's going to miss out on this wave and potentially the next, as the TP is going to take another 5 seconds after he respawns. Pretty big win coming on through for UHSP. They'll get themselves half a level lead in topside. And, I mean, Dried Knight took a recall, came top lane, and has all the camps going to be respawning. Very good spot for them to be found for the Tactics.
And no opportunity for disruption either. Rammus isn't really that sort of jungler, so... You know, you always talk about when you're playing Vi that you want to just hit 6 without getting disrupted. And if you get an opportunity to make a gank like that happen and you're still not disrupted, it is a dream.
Ooh, Gamer Haze also opted for no teleport here in this trade. So just walk straight back to lane. Maybe worried that Dried Knight's going to show up again. Maybe they're trying to see if there can be a flank play from this Aurelia getting pushed, but... That's just me being hopeful. For right now, this is a pretty big advantage coming on through for UHSP. Romeo doing their best of trying to dodge as many skill shots as possible, taking a fair amount of damage.
Watch out, did get rooted up as Romeo almost falls. Certainly playing on a knife's edge here, but knows that I'm bored. Can't do too much more. Bob Cheebles looking to get these auto attacks off, gets slowed up. He's flashing forward.
Whoa!
But he gets bursted out. It's a 1-for-1, but watch out. Flash for flash. Romeo, one more auto attack, but he does manage to get out using the W.
I mean, this is a big win for Weber State. It's the trade for the supports, but more importantly, someone got the wave there. Gamer Haze, goodbye. You do not have level 6. You're going to get level gapped here by Squelvis. You're also going to lose out on this wave.
Hang on, level 6 now. Squelvis on the run, but Gamer Haze is able to escape a bad scenario.
How is that even possible? Squelvis,
oh,
punish
wait,
this guy.
What's
yeah,
going on?
yeah,
right,
hit him!
All right, Gamer Haze is dead.
We're just afraid to use our summoner spells. Where's the flashes coming out from the gamers? We've got a million dashes topside. Good solo kill coming on through from Squelvis. Makes it even more difficult now. Gamer Haze can teleport back into this lane. It's going to be an early dragon coming on through for Dried Knight on the side of U-Tactics. Oh, we are going for the... And this is on vision, by the way. He knows that the teleport's coming on through from the side of Squelvis.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay, Squelvis does not want to fight, so they're just going to go around each other's ships passing in the night. The Tactics are going to be able to pick up this first dragon. Watch out, we'll get a late ward on it. Ocean Dragon goes their way.
Yeah, decent chip damage. They're going to try to squeeze a little bit of vision here. Oh, Gamer Haze.
Okay, Gamer Haze wants this. Vanguard's edge goes down, dashing around, getting Squelvis to half HP. It's a solid enough trade.
Squelvis is like, thank God I didn't die to that, because that was a lot of ability used, and that means that Gamer Haze is a little bit weaker as another E from the Aurelia just being dodged out by this Ambessa. And while this is happening, you know, his jungler Monkey is grabbing the red buff, also stealing away a Raptor camp, so not all that bad for Weber State's jungle, but the lanes right now are not doing very well, which is going to be a bit more problematic here versus the UHSP Tactics.
Now that Dried Knight is already level 6, the loss of chickens are not the worst thing in the world. Monkey immediately peels out and heads over to the grubs, and Dried Knight is very close behind. See if he wants to go for the grubs or not. Now in between the Taxman as well. Iron Blade a little late to move. Dried Knight getting ready as Squelvis is coming in as well. Looking for a nice pincer here as they're just burning abilities out of this Rammus right now. Here's Super Mega Death Rocket. This is a little bit of chip damage. Monkey got stuck,
Nice.
Gets fully engaged on, and Squelvis picks it up.
That was a really well-played sequence coming on through from UHSP. They kind of held their tempo. They decided, hey, we're going to save our spells. And instead of walking forward, they just decide, like, let Rammus run out of his Powerball. So they get the public execution from Squelvis. Turns into a free knockup. Didn't even use a cease and desist from Dried Knight. Really, really good stuff coming on out. And for that trade, they will get themselves a kill and 2 grubs. So first early objectives going really strongly and in favor of UHSP.
Just about 1,000 gold lead here. The Taxman is very low, and look who wants it. Dried Knight not quite landing the Q, but here comes the Pop Blossom over the top, and they'll get it done. Dried Knight will flashlight and will die to the Seraphine.
It doesn't matter. Look at this mid-wave, man. This is very disgusting. Good stuff coming on through from UHSP. We were unsure as to what was going to happen. You know, we are in Division 8. These are the 2 worst performing programs here in this division, but already here in this game number 1, they're showing a lot of good things when it comes to patience and, you know, making sure that they're applying pressure to their opponents appropriately.
Yeah, and, you know, I've been very pleased with the play of Squelvis so far. You know, doing a pretty good job against this Aurelia. I personally have a deep hatred for Aurelia, so it's not just because, oh yeah, you know, whatever about the matchup. I don't care about the matchup. I care about the Aurelia. He's dodging out on every single flawless duet. Obviously a little easier when you have Drake Count Step.
Also, really squeezing for it back here. So wonder what the choice here for Squelvis is going to be, because they've been sitting on magical footwear and D-shield plus pickaxe for a little bit of time here. Wonder if they're just trying to first item buy. You also have junglers on the bottom side here. There's no dragon for another minute and a half.
Gamer Haze went in for that.
Kill.
Yeah, this is really risky. The Vanguard's edge is there, but you do not have the health for this. Oh, Squelvis? I wonder if he's going to just try to get him. The ultimate. Hang on, there's a root on the bottom side. I'm bored. Getting targeted out. There's the encore on a Romeo, but he burns away anyway. Watch out. We'll burn that barrier. Does get rooted up, but should be okay.
Whoa!
All right, flash for flash.
Alright, my Nico with Pop Blossom will not have flash. Ooh. The ultimate goes a little wide there. Maybe there might be a kill again here from Squelvis. Has public execution if he really needs it. Might be looking on the back end of this trade.
Watch out, watch out, watch out! Got it? Because his name is Watch Out.
Yep, I got it. Yeah, pretty good. Good one.
They're just
walking past each other. Wow, yep. Okay, Monkey. Just let him walk on past.
That's discipline right there.
Gamer Haze doesn't die. This is going to be them squeezing for maybe another turret plate. No, let's get a reset in before our Drake. Good understanding here from the U-Tactics. Weber State just kind of feel a little bit lost in the game. I don't think that they've had really good direction so far as to when and where they want to be able to fight. Now that they are missing ultimates and summoner spells, I don't imagine that they'll be able to fight for this objective, but maybe they see something. Maybe they're able to catch out the fact that Romeo has no flash. We haven't seen really Monkey be too active in a lot of these fights, and with that Powerball plus the ultimate, I feel that there is a possibility for them to turn at least one fight here early.
Yeah, and now it's going to be so hard because of the items that are on the U-Tactics, right? I mean, if you go after Squelvis or Bob Cheebles, the other one's going to rip you apart. We're going to see Monkey go in. Here comes the Taxman over the top. with Between Worlds. Big damage coming out. There's that Pop Blossom. It's going to catch multiple members. The root on top of it too. Romeo took over that fight. It's a triple kill for Ironblade. Monkey caught in the back. It's a quadra kill for Ironblade.
Someone on Weber State get Gamer Haze to teleport down here. Let's get Ironblade a pentakill here on NECC. Not going to be the case. Almost dies top lane as both of our top laners use their summoner spells to get out of that spot. Very, very close again. But 4 kills to UHSP and the Dragon. I think it might just be the fact that the draft was just easier for them to play that we're seeing the U-Tactics completely run over Weber State.
You're so right, Alk. Honestly. Couldn't agree more. It's just ease of execution just prevails so often sometimes, and we are seeing proof of that right now. Gamer A says, "I'll have another. Let's do it." Squelvis takes the better of those trades, even with the ultimate drop by Gamer A's.
I mean, this if he has all Squelvis has all his spells.
Get him, Squelvis.
Let's go. Let's go on this guy. This guy is literally not even moving in between auto attacks.
One
just
more.
farm him. Well, Gamer Hayes almost just died, teleported back, and is dead again, almost. So, another wave. That's going to be 2 levels here that Gamer Hayes is going to be down versus this Ambessa. Plates have just fallen. We're at 14 minutes. It is 12-3, a 6,000 gold lead here for the UHSP U-Tactics. This game is not going to get any easier for them. I did say that Weber State, I think their champions can scale a little bit better than their opponents, but that was with the understanding that they would be able to hit the same benchmarks as their opponents here. I mean, Gamer hasn't even finished a full item right now, and he is down 1,600 gold just by himself.
Yeah, and then you take a look at like Ironblade, who's 5-0 right now, up 2,200 gold on his lane opponent. You've got the late game Jinx on top of it too. It does seem like we're going to need some sort of turnaround to occur. Let's see if it starts here. We're going to go all in on Bob Cheebles and take him out. Romeo decides that his cover is blown, and he will pop Blossom, but be unable to save his AD carry.
See pings going on towards the top side. We want to play for the Rift Herald that's going to be spawning soon. Just make sure that we can try to go for something immediately here.
Oh.
Monkey has just been full clearing. This has just been full clear jungle, recall, reset. We're not looking for anything. There's been a lot of counter jungling, but no objectives taken. See that Weber State, they might be looking to try to grab this bottom lane tier 1 as any kind of recompense in this game. They have objective bounties already up, but there's this reset coming in. They're already late for the objective, so now they'll just reset, they'll get themselves some items, and now they've given up every single early objective in the game outside of a single grub. That is exactly the kind of game strategy that any team would love to have, especially here as UHSP.
All right, Squelvis, let's see if he can get this solo kill. He's going to miss his ultimate, but use the Drake count step. But once again, Gamer Hayes survives on a sliver. The problem is you are stuck under your turret, and Squelvis knows you can go right after you're going to try to dash away, but you won't be able to. Squelvis gets his man the solo kill.
Oh my! Drive Knight going for some. Going for who was it? Who was the one that drove it into the wall the other night for Worlds?
Oh man!
It was Jinjia. It was Jinjia versus it was CFO versus HLE. I remember this. APA did actually bring out some tech that it didn't know, that if you charge it into the wall, the Mercenary Rift Herald actually does end up doing damage to the structure in a similar way. So I want to appreciate Ian for always enlightening us, everyone at home. But now watch out is dead.
Things. Watch out, flashes away. Super Mega Death Dragon lands flush. There's that Encore with the root on top of it here, as I'm Bored is fighting real hard to try to survive. And it ends up being a 2-for-2.
Yeah, but now Bob Cheebles gets to hit. Cheebles hits this bottom lane wave. Aurora's not going to even be able to move over. They basically just made a play very similarly in the mid lane. Yeah, I just noticed this thanks to our production. Seraphine is the only person with kills. So
and we have Sword Shoes on Seraphine.
Look, if I were to press tab and I saw this was my team, I think I'm also picking Sword Shoes on Seraphine.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you have all the kills, I mean, why not, right? Like, it is.
I mean, yeah.
It is a hope that you can have. I mean, if you hit all 5 with Encore, it's going to do a lot of damage.
I don't think that's how we're. I don't. I want folks at home to not think about Seraphine in that way. I would prefer if we.
Yeah. No. You're not supposed to, but
Yeah.
it's just kind of how the game is going. It's just how the matchup goes.
Oh God, Gamer Haze is getting ran now. 2,500 gold here for Squelvis. Another solo kill, and now teleporting for this play. This will be their Dragon Soul point if they can grab it. Plus, they have Otacon spawning in 2 afterwards.
Watch out, dropped his ultimate. We'll end up rooting 2. I'm bored, has fully escaped, but watch out has not. Oh, takes the blast cone just to get smacked in the face with a rocket.
2 kills straight into Dragon. Yeah, and UHSP just look very good. This will be a very strong win for them. Remember, both teams are 1-4 going in, or 1-3 going into this matchup, tied with also the UCO Bronchos JV team. 3 teams sitting at 1-3, and while it is unlikely they'll probably make playoffs, every single win will count towards them getting into top 6.
I thought for a second you mispronounced Broncos, but I go and look, and they are the Bronchos.
It's Bronchos. It's the Bronchos.
What? What is a Broncho?
Look. They're not on the stream. I don't have to know. I don't have to know what a Broncho is here.
Wait. No, it's an actual thing.
An actual. All right. Well, now is because we know that there's not much going on in this game. I will just go look up what a Broncho is.
The Central Oklahoma Bronchos.
Huh.
University of Central Oklahoma.
It's just another word for Bronco. Okay. All right. Cool.
Oh, is it? All right. I mean.
Yeah. It's like I'm pretty sure it's like, whatever. I mean, whatever it is, I think it is probably more meaningful than whatever is happening in this game right now. Because Gamer Haze has still not even finished their first item at 19 minutes.
That's tough. Well, it did have the Vamp Scepter, which, as we all know, does mean you're full build on Aurelia's. Dry Knight desperately trying to escape. Still alive. Here comes Iron Blade to try to help out his team. Spiraling despair. Iron Blade picks up 2. Taxman's got to flash away. Iron Board gets slowed. There's that Encore hitting 3 members, but it doesn't have a lot of damage right now, despite the 6 kills.
2 kills. Otacon's going to spawn now. Dried Knight should be looking for a little bit of regen here. Maybe dip into the jungle. Have your team start up this objective. Are there any fruits in the river? No. But it'll just be a simple Otacon. 22-6 here is going to be the kill score. We're at 10,000 gold already at 20 minutes. This is a pretty disgusting schlackening coming on through from the UHSP tactics.
Yep, the schlackening is here. Sufficiently schlackled. Has Weber been so far in this first game? The Pop Blossom is immediate! Spawning out the Seraphine. Public execution. And hey, Seraphine was worth 340 gold there.
I mean, I would hope so. She has the only kills on the team. And somehow also has the most deaths here for Weber State Violet.
Let's ignore that part.
I don't think we should. You know, the best part about competition is the wins, but also the losses. That's what makes the whole thing.
Oh,
That's
my
a lot of damage coming on through from the
So
Nico.
much damage. There's the reset. There's the rocket. The Taxman has fallen.
Okay. Yanni.
Yep.
It's time. It's time. Do we think this game is going to end under 25 minutes? So before Baron spawns. We got 340 on the timer there.
That's a good question. Oh my goodness. Iron Blade. Oh, Monkey has shown up to the party. Monkey immediately wishes that he had exited the party. They will use everything. There's a double kill. How many kills does Iron Blade now have? 11?
I think 8?
11.
11. Yeah, you're right. Jesus. Very fed.
I actually do think that it will be under 25 minutes now because of this push in the mid lane. Because I wasn't too sure if we were actually going to do that. But it does appear the
they also just didn't take any damage from that fight on top side. Like, Iron Blade is still very, very healthy. Dried Knight did use his ultimate. We'll see now. They're trying to make this play onto the Hui.
Oh.
Barely dodges out on the E from the Aurora. There's all these flank wards, but no teleport that wants to follow up here from Weber State. They're going to take the blue buff, and it seems like, Yanni, this last fight is going to be around this dragon in a minute's time. It feels Weber State are in no conditions to be looking for a fight at 14,000 gold deficits, but they're going to have to try. They're going to have to find something. There are one-item spikes on their team, and they press tab. Some players are finishing their third item. I'm looking at this play, getting closer and closer to a Rabadon's death cap.
Yeah, with 10 stacks on the Dark Seal as well. I mean, that is so much gold value there. But yeah, this is a tough one, being down this much gold. And as you said, you don't want to fight down this much gold, but honestly, you just kind of have to sometimes because they're not going to let you turtle. And of course, the soul is the condition that says we are going to end the game. The best, or one of the better decisions that's ever been made in this game was to replace the regular dragons that just gave gold with these elemental dragons, because those things were piss useless after a while.
I am also, you know, it's funny. It depends on how you view this series and kind of how teams utilize picks. But remember, because we are in Division 8, there is no Fearless. So this is not even like you're getting rid of an Mbessa matchup later in the later in the series. You're not getting rid of Aurora for the rest of the series and having Rammus as kind of your oddball champion. You could very realistically run these styles of compositions back with a large majority of the champions still in place. Dragon being taken here, Romeo with a zoning Nico Pop Blossom.
Yep, it did not land. Watch out, desperately trying to get away. Super Mega Death Rocket just does so much damage. Monkey has given up. He will fall. Oh no! Oh no, watch out! Literally.
Here we go.
Damn. Squelvis just did it to him.
I think Monkey did not have the best game because it seemed to me they were having internet issues. Consistently 100%. They were disconnecting from the game and coming back. So I do feel for the Weber State folks. This also happened for their main team, as we're going to see the last dregs of a team fight here play out for the U-Tactics as they put the finishing touches on game number 1.
Always unfortunate when there's internet issues. Bob Cheeple's just going to use his barrier to eat up a turret shot. But I mean, it's just how it goes sometimes. It's always frustrating. I hate when it happens to me, even though it rarely does. That encore was wayward. Here comes Monkey getting in there, trying to take out Dry Knight. He'll be able to do so. Spiraling Despair goes down and bursts out Monkey. Watch out, 9 boards, seeing some low health bars over on the side of the U-Tactics. The U-Tactics need to end this game in 10 seconds. I don't think they're going to end the game in 10 seconds off battery.
Come on, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
One-shot the Nexus. Oh, they're going to look to one-shot the ball in. And they do, successfully. Taxman says, I want to save the game. They haven't been paying their taxes, and it's time. Okay, never mind. They did pay their taxes. GG.
It's no longer tax season, bro. Come on. It's October. We're almost going into November. Got to give them at least 6 more. They did get more kills for their team, so 6 out of 8 kills. It's not just I'm bored here with representation on the kill board, but a very, very one-sided. And it wasn't just from game strategy, but also the lanes, especially that top side. Squelvis just completely slapping around the Aurelia.
Yeah, Squelvis went to work this game on that Ambessa, and, you know, maybe a couple of opportunities that were like, these should have been kills, but plenty of opportunities when you're like, these need to be kills, and they were. So shout out Squelvis there. I think Dry Knight, that first gank, I was like rather ambitious, but fairly well executed. We got the job done. That other one over on the bottom side where we missed the flash Q is okay. It happens sometimes. But still was around, and Iron Blade just killing the game. I can't remember how many kills he ended up with. I just know that he had 11 the last time we checked in. But really had a successful game on this way. One of the champions in his Rolodex.
It's 14-1.
Yeah,
14-1 is his ending skill score. Also has the most damage. 26,000 damage in a 25-minute game. Very, very impressive. I mean, maybe he has more damage than the entire bottom side of this team combined.
Can he play for top esports?
No, he cannot. No. Cream may not be great. Still getting completely owned there. But still a very, very good showing, and we'll see if they can close out the rest of the series, as still got at least one more game potentially here for the side of Weber State to come back.
Yep, we really want to see Weber go and get that first individual game win. So we'll see what happens if they're able to do that and force a game 3, or if this is going to be a 2-0 for the U-Tactics. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. And when we return, the game 2 draft between these two squads. Remember, no Fearless.
climb but first. But I've only stumbled over diamonds, and I no longer fear the worst.
Welcome back to more NECC League of Legends action here in Week 5. Alk, we had the first game between the Eutectics and Weber down in Division 8, and the Eutectics, a domination really from wire to wire. Iron Blade just had a really fantastic game, as well as Squelvis. The solo laners were on fire. Let's see if they're able to bring it into Game 2.
Maybe. We'll see. They're going to be still on the blue side here, which does give them access to first pick. Now, reminder for everybody, if you've been watching NECC, we usually have Fearless here in Division 8. Not going to be the case. So, let's see what changes necessarily. Right now, we are getting a pretty similar draft, though. Leona, maybe we see another Caitlyn ban, and from the side of UHSP, it was Nunu, Garen, and Nocturne.
Okay, yeah, it looks like it's sticking the same for right now. I'd hope that a Nocturne would be available for Weber. I again think that the Eutectics will probably take that away. I'm sorry, I just saw you turn to the side. Is that a ladder behind you?
This?
Yeah.
This is not a ladder, this is a mirror.
Oh, I see now. Okay.
It's a mirror.
No, okay.
So I can reflect on my mistakes that I make after the game. So,
I
immediately... Yeah.
So you never have to use that.
Yes, I do. I have lost in my ranked games.
Just because you've lost doesn't mean you made mistakes.
I mean, look, the ones I haven't made mistakes in are the games that you're playing, Elise, okay? So I've already chalked that one up to not being me.
You've played plenty of games where we've lost, but you've played great, so...
Yeah, there was that Elise Era Mayhem game that we played. Look, I'm just saying I think the champion is just not for you. It happens.
No, dude, okay.
We're getting a salty run back. We're getting a salty run back. We get the 3 out of 3 bans, 6 out of 6 bans, Aurora B1.
All right, what are we seeing come up next? I'm just
Nico. All right, if everything's gonna stay the same, you can go ahead and rebuttal and try to find defense for your Elise. But the data is there that it just has not worked.
Okay. So, I played Elise for a long time. When she came out, she was my jungler of choice. I've literally played her since she's come out, but typically only as a jungle. Usually very good in ARAM. My ARAM Mayhem augments were pissed, bro. They were so bad that game. The support game, I played poorly. That's on me, you know. It might need to be Plural. It might need to get retired after I've had a couple of games with you that I've played poorly on.
We're not putting that jersey in the rafters.
It's the nerfs. No, don't hang it in the Louvre, and they will let it stay there. They will not take it out of the Louvre. We have a couple of changes in this draft also.
Yeah.
As we have an Ashe and a Set locked in here for Weber.
All right, so The issues now, I think, for Weber is they have a ton of engage. Set can be a frontliner, but something that we saw very quickly kind of degenerate in this game is that Weber State never took a 5v5. Their lanes were in such a bad spot that we never actually saw a proper team fight until it was inside their base, down 16,000 gold, and an Otacon, and a soul. So now for Weber, they have a Set champion who I think is not... He is comparable in lane to Aurelia, but is very obviously a lot weaker, but has access to more health regen and the ability to surprise opponents with that grit shield that he gets from the Haymaker. And the Ashe also gives them the ability to actually start fights and punish some of these least tanky members like a Nico, like a Hui. Now, whether or not that is actually going to happen is going to now be up to Weber State. It also means that they will have a little bit more firepower from the bottom lane.
Not only that, Gamer Hayes has played Set quite a bit more than they've played Aurelia, so I do wonder if we'll see a little bit better laning come out there. Second half of bans are through. It's Vi, it's Kane that are biting the dust. Jhin is going to be the lock-in for the Eutectics. We're going to have a Nico Jhin bot lane. One of the stock standard ones that you can pick and has a lot of strength. You just, land that Q and all of a sudden somebody's getting rooted.
All right, so Nami means a lot of poke. We're going to be playing Jhin versus Jhin and Nico, which, surprisingly enough, if Weber State do play their cards right, I do think this is actually a winning bot lane matchup for them. Nico is very susceptible to getting outranged.
We're back.
There we go. Monkey is playing Rammus for a second time here. What is the answer? Because Vi was banned this time coming on through from Weber State, so UHSP are going to also have to find themselves a new jungler, at least a new jungle champion here. It's going to be the Wukong. Not great into the set, and does kind of flounder against a Rammus, but I think decent all around here for UHSP.
Yeah, we'll really work with this NECC, provided that Romeo is the one starting a lot of these fights, because then you get to take this set by surprise, provided we're seeing straight 5v5s. And in that window, that's where Dry Knight can take advantage, land that first knock up, and really force Set to just get him the heck out of there. Good news. We're done the draft. We're into the game. Game 2. Weber versus the Eutectics. Weber still hunting for that first individual game win of their season.
All right. Let's see. Both of these teams have taken series wins due to nefarious means, I guess is the way. I guess nefarious implies not like malicious intent, but not the case here. Just unsure due to NECC reporting, and unclear if it was just an FF. Because if it is only non-FFs, then these teams have not been able to find series wins, much less game wins versus opponents here in the competition. But Monkey gets poked out a little bit early just to get some vision, see if they can spot it out. It is notified by UHSP thanks to them having maybe the ward-seeking rune that is in Red Tree, but more than likely just probably vision from Iron Blade. So going to be immediately swept out there by the Wukong.
Interested to see if the strategy is going to kind of remain the same here for the side of Monkey, where he was just pretty much full clearing, and occasionally he'd look for an opportunity, but it was half-hearted at best. He'd kind of come nearby and be like, I know there's nothing there. I'm going to take a recall. He was the first one onto the grubs, and was able to swipe that grub away. And if he didn't, disconnect in that play, maybe he escapes, and it's like, hey, great job, you took a grub. I do wonder if the Eutectics this time around are going to be on top of the grubs, and wonder if Monkey's going to be there early and get to him before he can snag that first.
This is going to be so confusing because there's technically 2 monkeys in the game.
Oh my goodness.
One of them is just in namesake and the other one is in etymology. So going to be quite... And technically, there can be 3 of them thanks to the NECC. So...
Oh my goodness, you're so right.
Suddenly, we are in a true zoo. And Wukong... Yeah, I guess there actually could be up to almost... There's 5 monkeys potentially if we get Monkey versus Monkey plus NECC clones and Wukong clones. Yeah, that's a lot of monkeys.
God, it feels like when I play Flex with the caster friends, so many monkeys in these games.
Crazy.
Especially Rare Adam.
You play Flex games with Adam? That would require Adam to queue up.
I have occasionally done so, and he has ruined my games with Silas support.
That is, look, that sounds about right, honestly.
Yeah, it's worse than my Elise support. We did see some heavy trades over in this bottom lane, but watch out, and I'm bored. Did not burn any of their summoner spells. Good on them for hanging tough.
It's still not great, though, because junglers are moving away from this lane, and I think what we have seen from Squelvis is that they have the mechanical expertise to be able to pilot. Also, look at the difference in pots. Gamer Haze went for D-Blade and has pots first, already out of them, and Squelvis still has both his cookies and the health potion. So, still a lot of sustain available here for this Ambessa. You can see that there is just trading across the board, although it is in favor of UHSP right now. A CS advantage opening up in every lane that isn't in top.
You ever wonder what a total biscuit of rejuvenation tastes like?
Well, originally they were supposed to be like, not actually Jaffa cakes, but because they were inspired by Total Biscuit, a former UK British streamer slash journalist, I assume that they probably have some influence over from across the pond in terms of flavor.
Yeah, you know what? You might be onto something. It's just like a tea and crumpet situation, maybe. Do they still do that over there? I assume they still do that.
I don't know. I don't go to Europe.
we have these friends, and they never mention it. Bloxer and Reduda never once mentioned the tea and crumpet session. So.
Well, the new hotness is complaining about beans on toast. All right, no grit here. Jungler is on top side here for Monkey, so could eventually make his way up. should know that Dried Knight, he's nowhere nearby. Have to be a little bit careful here, and there's some of that HP regen being abused by Gamer Haze to put him on par with his opponent.
All right, let's see this play happen. Gamer Haze will pull him in, and here comes Monkey. Squelvis, there's nowhere left to go but to his turret. Monkey says, I don't want any part of this.
I don't think Wukong should be skipping camps for this. I think you should be okay with your wave being in a really good spot. Doesn't mean that Monkey's just going to get spotted out here. How much actual damage can he get? Has red buff? This is dangerous. He probably got the flash.
And the dagger. He's going after him. There's the flash. Dried Knight getting a little bit closer. Oh, he's on a sliver and burns away from, guess who? Iron Blade, First Blood.
First Blood going over to Hui, and look at all these camps that are up and available. Didn't even lose the Summoner spell here from Dried Knight. And Gamer Haze has to be careful. Both top laners at halfway through level 5 here, so very close to having their ultimates soon.
The shield the flash.
Does he get out?
Oh, he's on a sliver.
Oh, ends up living. Can teleport back here, and Gamer Haze needs to push this wave in. Needs to get this in now so they can find a recall and they're not trapped versus this Ambessa. Very close fight, but one that I think overall... Wow.
Oh, it doesn't result in a kill. Oh, that's so devastating.
I mean, it's devastating if you are a UHSP fan. If you're here for Weber State, you're saying, thank God, not another death. Taxman does not have teleport either, so you're going to be missing out on this. This is going to be continuous gold gains here for UHSP. Another successful strategy that we've seen from them 2 games in a row. Making good picks down on to watch out, and I'm bored. It's very difficult for them to walk in, and all I need to do is just press tab, right? Like, I'm up 15 in mid. I'm up almost 10 in bottom lane. This is exactly where we want to be in this game. And Weber State were the draft that can play a lot more aggressively early on.
Oh, Gamer Haze didn't take a back, by the way, which means Squelvis can just hit the go button, but Gamer Haze, this is a... Yeah, you gotta need to respect the public execution a little bit more.
Okay. Still has teleport, so should be fine. Can just walk back here. There is going to be Monkey on this side of the map, so good respect being shown by Squelvis. It's going to be the start of the Dragon. It is on Vision. As soon as Gamer Haze invests this teleport into the top side, it will mean that they're not going to be able to play for this objective. Maybe a little bit of action in mid, see if Iron Blade's going to get caught out. No teleport here from Gamer Haze. He waited for a long time to get Blade of the Ruin King, or sorry, just the Vamp Scepter, and then chooses to teleport afterwards anyway. What's going on?
I don't know. Ooh, big root from downtown. Spiraling Despair lands. Iron Blade can just walk away because, cool guys, don't look at explosions. It's his second kill of the game. He has been running this match in Game 1. He is continuing to do so here in Game 2.
Now they need to find something from the side of Weber State. Let's try to make something happen in top side because everywhere else is not looking good. Good pick coming out from the U-Tactics there. Iron Blade, like you mentioned, already doing very well in this 1v1 throughout the series so far and continuing to show that level of domination. Hui seeming like it is a very dangerous pick. Maybe asking, can we get Fearless here in Division 8? Because it might be their only way out of this one. But Monkey gets spotted out. Did take 2 camps away from this Wukong, so he's doing well for the individual matchups.
Dried Knight is going to chase him off this play. Gamer Haze is going to push up and try to hit these minions. Dried Knight is coming in and is going to cut him off. There's the knockup. Public execution not going to land. Gamer Haze says, I want to stand and fight, but he gets knocked up. And Monkey was unable to commit Feat of Warfare to the attack.
Oh, mid. Oh. Iron Blade almost just died. He had to use Flash. Almost died to the Aurora. I mean, sure, this is as good as it's going to get here for Weber State. It sucks that it does not turn into at least 1 kill traded somewhere on the rest of the map. Dried Knight now trying to pull this blue buff, doing it in front of the Rammus, has the smite available. Let's see, does he land it? 700, 600.
Taxman's got to get here. Okay, Monkey picked that one up. That means Dried Knight is going to have to make a quick exit, but now he is going right after him. Monkey on monkey violence potentially, but it looks like he'll peel out and head back to the Taxman as these grubs have spawned.
Dried Knight, this is a very aggressive take here. Ooh. Wow, the fact that he doesn't get punished. Gonna look for more. Just do your camps. Just do your camps. You have an entire bot side suite to go for. No, he's opting to just call the bluff on Weber State. They have not touched very many objectives this entire series in 2 games already, so let's try to play a little bit more aggressively. I like the idea. Some of the theory here I think is fine. Dry Knight's going to sneak his way into the pit, and by putting all this pressure into mid, this should be
Iron
3
Blade
grubs going over.
taunted up. Big damage coming through. There's the Pop Blossom. Iron Blade's still alive, and the Taxman falls. They cannot take down the mid laner of the Eutectics.
How was that even possible? That wasn't even a Triumph proc coming on through for Iron Blade. Just I don't want to say a level up, but still either way, a really, really good start here for UHSP. Now they get exactly what I was talking about beforehand, at least starting up the grubs. The teleport here from the Taxman looks like they're going to try to contest for one more of these. Dry Knight probably not getting himself the second grub of the trade. We are just flashing. Okay, 11 seconds on Playful Trade. Okay, makes sense.
Oh, wait, does he want to go back in? Oh, this is crazy.
We can't. We have no prio. We have no prio from topside.
All right, Dry Knight is getting pushed off here, and it looks like he will retreat into his jungle, or is he going to go over the wall and try to snipe this away? Chanted Crystal Arrow will not land on anything, as he did faceplant into the wall when trying to go over to his Krugs. That's okay.
Yeah. There was also a smite difference there. If you haven't noticed, Monkey, by doing a few of the enemy jungle camps, it's about 6 jungle camps ahead, so has already the 900 damage
This is
smite.
the showstopper. Do we have the turnaround? We'll flash away almost in that sweet spot for the Haymaker.
This is the problem when you're playing the set into the Ambessa, is that Ambessa can almost never kill you. And as Ambessa, Squelvis does need to be a bit careful when that Haymaker comes out.
Pulled in. Get him,
that
Gamer!
right there.
Gamer Haze! The 1v1 victory he's been looking for. Now we're seeing a turnaround after Between Worlds. Iron Blade just waiting for these cooldowns to come back up. Severing Bolt, almost. You can feel the breeze on it if you're the Taxman.
There we go. All right, but maybe if you had a completed item, maybe that's a kill. You can see that Iron Blade already has the Blackfire Torch completed, so probably helping with some of that damage. Will turn into, with those 2 plates, or 2 grubs I should say, 2 plates going over to Gamer Haze. Doing better in this 1v1, but still needs a lot of assistance, and still a 1,500 gold lead, almost 2,000 coming on through for the side of UHSP Eutectics.
25 seconds until this dragon is up, and you can see a lot of the Eutectics hovering around this bottom side. Dry Knight is going to clear out what he can, as a hawk shot went in that general direction, so they're aware that Dry Knight's on the bottom side. Gamer Haze is going to take this recall. I wonder what the call is going to be here for Weber. Dragon
Spawns in 3. Maybe there's an angle for them to be able to play. There's a TP disadvantage or kind of a mismatch in the summoner spells here. Weber State have teleport from Gamer Haze, but Taxman doesn't. And for UHSP, Squelvis just teleported into topside, so it's probably going to be focusing on getting more of these turret plates before they fall. Okay, Dry Knight is walking back to base. You have 100 gold. You're spending 100 gold on what? Double control wards here? Wonder what our Observer Chippy is going to show. You have a lot of vision control already. Oh, it's finished Triforce.
Oh, it was the finished Triforce, yeah, because it was 133.
That is pretty important. Yep, that is pretty important. So we'll delay UHSP starting up this objective, but nobody from the side of Weber is showing quite yet, and they're not even on the objective.
Yeah, and they're not even in position 2, right? Not just off of their actual champion positioning, but how far behind they are. Monkey, go for it, bro. I want to see you fly, baby. Monkey will elect to make the smart decision and walk away, but there's nothing for him to do.
There's jungle camps for him to take. He does have the timers, the respawn timers on Red and Krugs, so could just go for the enemy top side here. Maybe even make a play onto Squelvis. They do have the Showmaker or Showstopper, and they also have a few buttons that can kind of play versus Ambessa. Not going to be the case here. Dry Knight going to jump over the wall and see his entire Raptor pit gone.
All right, Dry Knight versus Monkey, who 2 will enter and 2 may leave. He's going to try to go right.
Oh!
He dodges Iron Blade to get out of there. He resisted the Call of the Void instead of face planting into the opposing mid laner.
Gamer Haze, you gotta be careful. You know Wukong's on this side. Wave is constantly stuck in front of the turret. Something that Squelvis has done really, really well is wave control between these last 2 games. Obviously, in that first game was just running this Ambessa through the Aurelia, and there's really not much for them to be able to do, but here in this one, while it is a little bit easier for Gamer Haze to survive, the wave control has made it harder for them to be able to get the waves and really punish their opponent.
So see if they'll take care of
we
Bob
get further
here.
in this. Bob Cheebles does have flash. You have to always be worried he doesn't have cleanse.
I'm kind of shocked we haven't just thrown the arrow at him.
Yeah, we have Kraken Slayer. We should feel more than confident to deal damage here. Seems like they're waiting. They don't have eyes on Romeo right now.
All right, Dry Knight's going to be able to hop away for just a moment there as the clone will do what it needs to.
Wow.
And that is Rammus ultimate down.
That is a very high... Oh, I heard Nico ultimate. They're going on to watch out. He's dead.
And we see fight. There's fighting on the bot side. There's a Rift Herald up here. There's a kill. Bob Cheebles gets his. I'm bored. We'll be able to escape. No root going down on the Deadly Flourish.
So, that was a really high-value Wukong clone coming in from Dried Knight. Gets the clone, so it tanks up the Rammus ultimate. Also helps get the knock-up, so Powerball's down. Probably not going to see too much after that. And then the taunt coming in from Monkey onto the clone just basically cements the fact that this Wukong is getting out. Also, I know that they had changed Rammus to basically now include Magic Resist as part of his W, but I didn't know that they also changed how his ultimate worked. I know that they made a lot of sweeping gameplay changes. Gamer Haze in a 1v3. I think we're getting out of this one. I did not know that they changed how his ultimate works. You only get the ultimate knock-up if you are in Powerball when you cast it.
Yes. So. I also forgot that was a thing, but that does... I do remember this change. You know, I find that kind of interesting because, like, it takes a lot of generic power out of Rammus, which is a champion that you don't see very often, which is, like, for people like you and me, generally a good thing that we don't see this champion. But at the same time, could he have done with that a little extra power? Potentially. Here comes a fake Dried Knight. It is actually Romeo looking to make a play. Here comes the real Dried Knight as they taunt up Romeo. There's a fear onto Rammus, but he's just stuck, so he's not actually feared. It's a fake fear. Spiraling spared a lot of damage as Dried Knight doesn't have his ultimate to do much more. Iron Blade has big damage. Fear down onto the Taxman, but here comes the turnaround. There's a shutdown for the Taxman. Ooh. And okay, Weaver are making a couple of plays.
No ultimate there from Romeo. He had it at the very beginning of that fight, but because of all the engagement tools coming out from Weber State, they actually got to fight back and push them away. No flash for Romeo means no ability to use a Pop Blossom and maybe get more. So now it's going to be a Rift Herald summoned here from Weber State Violet. They're going to get turret here. It's not the first turret of the game, but at least some good gold for them. And in time perfectly for the dragon that's going to spawn in 55 seconds. So it'd be Chemtech's sole point here for UHSP if they can grab it for themselves. They're going to send another charge just to get some more damage. I don't think they'll be playing for this dragon if they're going to be doing so.
Oh, teleport
especially
from
with this
behind.
Teleport flank from Ironblade. No flash available for the Hui.
He does get slowed up and might be looking for I'm bored. Misses the fear, but he will have the grasp of it all. If he wants it, no, he'll just go full damage, and I'm bored. It's just a matter of time before you fall. It's another one for Iron Blade. In exchange, a turret and half damage on another, but 23 seconds until this next dragon is up, and being down your support is tough.
I don't think we're fighting for this objective. We already made it clear with that last fight that we're not looking anymore. We're going to be down buttons. There is still a Nico with now Proto Belt and the or the Pop Blossom, so very difficult. Let's see if Gamer Haze can find the solo.
Oh, big shield, big damage. Gamer Haze, so close. Get it done, Gamer Haze. No, he flashed into an unwarded bush and falls to Squelvis.
Squelvis still looking good on this Mbessa now. 2 games in a row. We're fighting for red buff, and look, Nami is back.
Between worlds, big damage. Enchanter Crystal Arrow lands flush with the Pop Blossom over the top. Big double bubble coming out, but you don't have any damage coming out of Monkey. Here comes Watch Out. It's a 3v2 as the Ash looks to push forward, but the root plus the Blast Cone means that everybody on the Eutectics is out.
We got Raptors and we got red buff, and we traded 1 for 3 across the map here, and a turret. Wasn't end up being the objective that I was looking for, but all the same, it is the Eutectics finding themselves now with a 5,000 gold lead, 10-3. And I will say, even with this scoreline, even with this gold deficit, I think Weber already look way more competitive here because they have so many tools to be able to fight back. Also, until Bob Cheebles gets things like an LDR or even an Infinity Edge, this Rammus is actually going to be particularly difficult for UHSP to deal with. It's just about whether or not the rest of the team can also survive for that long.
Right, you are, Oak Battery. I agree very much on the competitive aspect of things. Weaver has fought for some objectives. They secured that Herald. Obviously, they're not going to be able to fight for this one, but they made a solid enough Herald play. You know, it's not as bad as it was, because in game one, by this time, this game was well out of hand. And while it's still trending that way here with a 3,500 gold deficit, it's not as bad.
Well, let's see. We're seeing more counter jungling coming out through from Monkey. He's going to take this entire top side. There is an Otacon on this side of the map, so right place, maybe different timing here. See if Gamer Haze can find anything. Has the showstopper. Oh my.
Yeah,
I hear another Pop Blossom
no.
too in mid.
Yep, we're going to see Gamer Haze die first. Now we're going to see... Oh, we're seeing
Oh,
kills everywhere.
everybody!
Watch out! Oh, was able to step away and will avoid the wrath of the curtain call. Big root just means that Monkey can't do anything. So many clones that he's got to get through. So many roots that he's got to get through. It's a hard life to be a Rammus.
Oh, Monkey walks into the clone, and that's both solo laners getting killed by their lane opponents. Squelvis with the 1v1, Iron Blade with the 1v1 versus Taxman and Gamer Haze, and they'll grab the bottom lane tier 1. So a lot of gold getting put into the pockets of UHSP, and the Eutectics are feeling so good about this series. Being able to move up potentially to 2 and 3 puts them in contention with 4th and 5th. Means it'd be around the state where the ECU Tiger Bryles are, and Tech Esports Black, who are both 2 and 2. I think a pretty decent spot if you're trying to make it into that top 4 and try to be one of those teams that is going to be able to make playoffs.
That's what it's all about, making playoffs. Doesn't matter how the regular season goes. If you can get to the playoffs, you give yourself a chance. That's all you want to do. And right now, the Eutectics, as you mentioned, prime position to make it happen. Blue buff secured for the side of the Eutectics. It is Weaver's blue buff, so I'm sure the Taxman will be quite sad about that. I have a few more things to be sad about as Otacon is available. Watch out, wisely stepping away, but foolishly walking up once again. Just on the edge here is Dry Knight.
Oh!
Used the stun so well. And the
All right,
Ashes turn
that's
dash.
Otacon. Let's just go and start up this Otacon. They have tons of abilities still up and available here for the side of UHSP. No Cyclone, but a Pop Blossom. They're going to have Current Call coming up soon as well. Teleport invested by Gamer Haze. They're going to try and match. They're going to put 2 of their solo laners on the bot side. Get themselves potentially the bottom lane tier 2, which would be a nice objective bounty. 500 gold locally and 800 across the board for the rest of the team. Not bad. They'd be sending back Squelvis to catch this wave. Potentially even TP to play. Okay, so we're putting both solo laners here to match.
All right, let's see if Iron Blade can win a 2v1, but it just doesn't look like that Weaver is able to actually fight it at all. As Wave's wave clear is pretty ridiculous. Monkey won't be able to secure this crab. No, it's taken away by Romeo. That's sad.
Do they get stuck in the pit here?
They might get stuck in the
Squelvis
pit
is
here.
They got spotted. Okay, so there was a hawk shot that came through. Watch out, it's going to pick up this wave. They're going to be putting all of their forces in the bottom lane here. It is tough for UHSP to play on side lanes a lot of the time. Just the flexibility of having a Rammus this fast does make it a little bit less tenable. But you have 2 items on almost all of your carries. Jin's getting close to an Infinity Edge second. And even if Monkey is matching those breakpoints, the damage dealers that are next to him are not that strong. And I mean, you just look at the solo lanes. It's a completed Malignance, but this has been nerfed time and time again, especially for Aurora. This is Blade of the Rune King set, so supposed to be a duelist, but is now going to be at least a level behind
Public
anybody on the enemy
execution.
team.
Look at the chunks.
Jesus. A good
Taxman
spot.
is a
Squelvis has
tomato.
played. Squelvis has played incredibly so far this series.
Oh yeah, Squelvis.
Both
really,
games
really
on
strong.
Mbessa. So if there was ever a mark against him, it was maybe, you know, let's get out some of those different champions. But aside from that, very, very impressive mechanically speaking.
-1, no fearless. You get the Brazen Bull for that one. There's a knock up on the Cyclone as Gamer Haze is dead. Dried Knight going to be able to pick that one up. Iron Blade, once again, is just around for a kill. He's got these needlessly large rods. So strong. Can't wait for him to get to another big team fight. As we have a 3v3 going on down here. Squelvis in a hot pursuit. Watch out. Again, just getting chunked so hard. Flash for the Pop Blossom. Just to knock up Monkey. Squelvis got knocked up again, which means guys. Watch out will live. Ooh, almost got taken out on the Deadly Flourish there.
You know, a fair too many close moments there for
just
the
a
side
little
of
bit.
Weber State. If their opponents were a little sharper, maybe a little cleaner, we could have seen UHSP take out a second member of Weber State, but now this is going to be them putting themselves on Soul Point. The single dragon that Weber State were able to grab puts them at 5-minute deficit with being able to find the soul, but with the gold lead that they have now, I find it hard to believe that Weber State are going to find much success more in this series.
Yeah, and there's not just anything that you can point to and be like, oh, they're going to scale, right? And it's not like they have a Jinx or one of these hyper carry AD carries. It's like, it's probably not going to happen, but hey, we have one just in case. As the Spiraling Despair is going to do a lot of damage, but again, the extra resistances on the Rammus mean that he will be able to survive for the moment. And it looks like survive all in whole, but I know Gamer Haze won't.
Yeah. Baron's up. Let's just start this up. UHSP, we're already doing bad on game time right now. We're behind. We're behind a minute now in terms of where we ended the first game.
Yeah, this is not world record pace.
Their Baron isn't as fast, but they are up numbers, up gold, up everything basically in terms of measurable metrics here in this game. See how
let's see if Monkey can get in there.
This.
All right, Monkey coming through, 5v4. He's going to hop all the way in, but the Baron's at 5,000 HP. Big damage coming out. Here's the Pop Blossom on top of it, too. Taxman falls. Big bubble coming down, but Squelvis is still alive. Getting shields. Watch out. Is able to flash away. We might have a turnaround. Dried Knight with the Cyclone's going to be able to take out Watch Out, but Monkey doesn't have the damage to actually kill this. It's going to be a smite fight. Who's going to get it? And it's secured by the Eutectics. Are you surprised? They get it done, even when it looks a little ugly. Gamer Haze now trying to chase down Bob. There's that ultimate. Bubble coming out. Two-man bubble. There's, oh, big shutdown coming out from Gamer Haze. That third shot will slow him up and make sure that Romeo is able to escape.
I mean, sure, you got the kill on the Dried Knight. I don't think it's too meaningful. This was only 2 Barons now being held by UHSP Eutectics. Also, Bob Cheebles was sitting on a pretty massive recall, had all the components for an Infinity Edge, and then waited to see what would happen with the fight. Didn't have time to get a recall in. Could have been a lot stronger for that fight if UHSP were able to slow down the game. Wasn't ended up being the case. 8,000 gold, 1,500 of that from that Baron. Not all that bad. Maybe they even grabbed themselves a shutdown bounty here for Weber.
Well, not going to happen. And now Squelvis is like, hey, you are not allowed to walk away from me. Big chunking. And if he can even land the true damage, I'm not even sure if it's fully enough. Now Squelvis will just eat through that shield. Is 3 levels up on Gamer Haze. Hasn't even used the public execution yet. No doubt going to use it right now. Left it in the back pocket. Gamer Haze is dead. It's another 1v1 win for Squelvis.
Well, that doesn't feel very good because guess what? We got 2 minutes before the Soul, and it'll be a Chemtech Soul. So if you thought it was hard to win the 1v1 before, well, if he's below 50 HP, you're going to get a flat DR, and that is going to be impossible to fight against. So these items that you see in Weber State's inventory, these are the items that they are going to have to fight with, the tools that they're going to have to use to beat up and get themselves back into this game. Because imagine, I mean, we look back forward at the schedule. I'm going to hold that as they look for Squelvis here.
No, you're good. You can keep going.
Okay, so this right now is week number 4. They've got 2 weeks after this to be able to make any hopes of running in to a... Oh, sorry, this is week number 5. We're going to be moving into 2 weeks after this of trying to make it into playoffs. And at 1-4, it's basically impossible.
Yeah, it's overwhelmingly difficult. You'll be 1-4. You'll be at the bottom completely. Still, you know, if you're Weber, because, I mean, let's be honest. We think that this is a Eutectics victory here. It would take many minor miracles and probably a major miracle. And I think that would keep them out of the playoffs, barring anything crazy. Speaking of barring anything crazy, Weber are able to survive, but won't be able to win a fight, barring anything crazy. Oh, Gamer Haze?
Oh, hey! All right, 400 objective bounty gold claimed for the team. It's going to be merely a dent in what is a pretty big wallet diff.
He hits a clutch 3 to cut the deficit to 42.
Nice. True. Well, 30 seconds here for Weber State before the end of this game. You know.
Oh, hey, now they're going to do the dragon first and then end the game. That's like
I mean,
minute.
The theoretical end of this game should have been when we saw the Otacon fight, the Baron fight as well. Like, this feels more like, okay, Dragon Soul's kind of where all the gameplay kind of stops here for UHSP. It's when you basically get put into a situation where you're unlosable states. Teleport not available here for Swelvis. It will be late. This is going to be a small window where they're going to have numbers.
Fully in here as Bob Cheebles is cut off, but here's a Pop Blossom turnaround. Oh my goodness! Iron Blade!
A massive explosion. The Otacon slow explodes 1 kill, turns it into 4 immediately. 11, 1, and 4 on this
30 seconds.
Matching the same timer that we saw from them. I'm bored. The only one alive, and they don't even have a very big minion wave to play with either. That was the Dragon Soul immediately taken.
30 seconds to get him the Penta. There's the rune. Oh no! Did they get rid of that timer?
I don't think. I think it was way too long for him to be able to get that one. But a very similar score line.
Respawn though.
14, 1, and 6 was the score that he had in game number 1 on this way. 12, 1, and 4. Maybe even more, as we're going to have a little bit more gameplay on our screens. UHSP U-Tech not able to close this one out. Or maybe. Oh, it's U-Tech the clone. Oh, God.
No. Gamer Haze was in a haze of rage. And in his rage, he picked the wrong target. The U-Tactics are not able to finish just yet. So maybe a second chance for an Iron Blade Pentakill.
Okay. Second time's the charm. Or third time's the charm, I should say. He's gotten 2 quadra kills. Able to get the pentas in both of these games. So, 40 seconds still bare. Now we have to be able to end it, right, UHSP? Like, we got Dragon Soul. Our Hui just absolutely one-shot everybody. That is a clip that needs to go on socials. That is a 100%. Really cool fight coming on through.
That is, on any champion where there's certain champions that can just do that, right? And it just feels so good playing that and having that happen. You know that Iron Blade's got a big smile on his face while trying to finish this game, and I might be trying to clip farm, and the next fight he goes, oh, if I could do that in the last fight, I can probably do that here. We'll see if he's going to start the farming here. Instead, he will knock himself all the way away and let the rest of his team get the glory on Gamer Haze.
Well, if there was ever a clip farm, it has to be a quad kill like that. That's going to be Baron being started here, potentially here for U-Tactics. Seems like they're going to go hunting, though. They want to go through all of the enemy jungle, clear out any vision, as well as get rid of any escape routes for Weber State University. This Violet JV team is going to go push on the bottom side. Taxman's going to go for the objective bounty that's available on the bottom lane. Oh, with this Baron, we need to see UHSP close this out. We have kind of dragged this one now for 7 minutes. Fortunately, the last Baron attempt ended us with 2 members living.
That's a lot of gold. At this point in time, it's really not that much, but 860 gold is 860 gold. If you're the taxman, you are collecting for sure. You took it out of this poor person's tax refund. You overcharged them like H&R Block. If H&R Block was ever going to sponsor the NECC, they're not going to anymore. Sorry about that, NECC crew. We have a 1v1. Gamer Haze, could he maybe win this? Nope. He cannot win this one anymore.
No. His solo kill happens in mid, okay. Iron Blade dies.
All right, Pop Blossom went down, but it's not enough to kill. Dragon Knight getting forced away. Here's a curtain call. Everybody's full HP. It's time to run, Bob Cheebles. As Ramus, looking for him, gonna go from behind instead and go after Dragon Knight. He's forced to flash away. Taxman as well. He avoids the ultimate, but it won't matter. The Drake count step just dashing forward, and now it's Squelvis' time to get a couple clips. A kill ripped out of the clutches. He deserved that one, but Bob Cheebles steals it for himself. The Eutectics, it took 34 minutes, but it really didn't need to take 34 minutes. They run over this game, they run over this series, and they improve to 2-4.
2-0 here for UHSP
2 and 3.
Tactics.
Sorry. My bad.
Yep. And also, that right there was a good use case of more of the Otacon. That Otacon slow giving Squelvis the ability to find as many kills as they could. Also that nice little bit of damage that they got as well, probably feeling a bit nice. But overall, really solid solo lane play coming on through by UHSP. I think that Squelvis and Iron Blade had strong grasps of their matchups and their lane opponents throughout both games, and I think while some of the cleanliness wasn't there, that was to be expected from the very first Division 8 series shown on NECC.
Yep, they certainly put themselves on display, Alk Battery. The solo lane power was there. All right, we're going to give away a player of the game. In my opinion,
sure,
it's got to go to Iron Blade. Just because, you know, the guy was just going crazy. Any doubts?
No, Iron Blade was by far the best player on the Rift
Honorable
today.
mention to Squelvis.
Would have been Squelvis, but
His
that
mid
game
laner's too
2
good.
was a little closer, and yes, the mid laner is too goated.
Yeah, just a little too good. You know what else is good? Our sponsors. Gamers,
True.
Your eyes take a beating when you are looking at the computer screen all day long when you're playing. Buy Blue Light has you covered because their premium blue light glasses will keep you sharp, focused, and ready for victory without the eye strain. Level up your game, protect your vision. Check out Buy Blue Light today, the official eye care partner of the NECC. That is Buy, BYE, bluelight.com. I want to also give a big shout out to Wenzel's Farm. Made in Wisconsin, goes great with gaming. Legendary Wisconsin meat sticks since 1977 with 14 mouth-watering flavors. You can meet your heart out. Wenzel's Farm legendary Wisconsin meat sticks. Been around since 1977. I'm excited to get my box because apparently I won our NECC raffle internally to get a box. I can't wait for these meat sticks to show up, but that will do it. Yes, big meat sticks. That'll do it for us here this evening. Overwatch 2 is tomorrow night, same time, same place. Maybe not same time. Definitely the same place. For myself, my co-caster Alk Battery, Adam and Chippy behind the glass, we thank you all so much for being with us here tonight, and we hope to see you tomorrow for some more NECC action.